fireworks bigger than us. Oh, I don't know which one to... It is... Okay, so I got there at 8. I didn't leave this thing till like 12 at night, midnight pretty much. I was there for 8, 10, 9, 10, 4 hours. The check-in was at 10:15 for the actual like experience. But before there's this is a pre-built house. This house existed in the area a long time ago, but it's a dilapidated, like, should be not condemned, but it's a dilapidated house. It's 3 stories, though I didn't get to go to the 3rd story. But the downstairs, there's all this like interactive kind of stuff where there's clues and interactions and things talking at times that you listen and you find out about the story. And then there's another room. And they're, you know, serving alcohol, that kind of dealio. And they have food outside that you could buy. It was actually really good food. I think they hired some local eatery to supply the food. It was like, it wasn't just like hot dogs and pretzels. It was like, I had, oh, so good. These honey sriracha pork belly bites. They were super tasty. But it was a surprising thing. So that's why I didn't leave and go get foods elsewhere. Just ate at the thing. And then at one point, there's the upstairs area, which is only for VIPs, which I got a VIP ticket because it offered an extra experience. So up there, there's a magician doing up close card magic, which I love. I love magic. I love magician sleight of hand. I'm not like, oh, it's all real. No, I know that there's a sleight of hand, but there's just, this guy was so good because I was like, I'm like here, like where I am, and then he's like right here, like he's that far away from me doing this up close magic, and I didn't see him do whatever tricks he did to change up the cards right in front of me, and I was watching because I like to watch. I'm like, I've been to the. Have you ever heard of the Magic Castle out in LA? Ever heard of it? I know it's pretty well known. I think outside of just California. I thought thought maybe it's fairly well known outside of California, because, you know, like Neil Patrick Harris is, you know, the president of the magician whatever of the Magic Castle. I've been to the Magic Castle multiple times, like, because via friends of friends who had memberships and got you in, like, you still have to pay the money, but you can't just go. You have to know somebody who's a member to go. So I was able to go, like, I think I've been 3 or 4 times to the Magic Castle. Pretty fun. Love magic shows. Good food there, too. Crazy house. Also, if you've ever seen the Nickelodeon Mark Summers special that they used to have a Halloween special with Lance Burton and Mark Summers back in the heydays, they filmed that in the Magic Castle, which is why I always wanted to go to it, because I love that special as a young person, as a small child, one might say. Anyway, so I like magic. So they had an up-close magician that was really cool. They had a specialty drinks. I got this drink that was like, it was called a sour poison apple, and they put dry ice in it, which was super fun, because it just went poof, poof, poof. Never drink dry ice, though. It's very, not safe. But then there was an extra experience where you had to wait. They only let in 4 people at a time, so we went in through, and you had to, like, crawl around. Like, it's not a like, oh, you're dressed nice. No, you be prepared to, like, duck, crawl, run, whatever. This isn't like a, yeah, we're just like, soiree, even though that's the theming of it, is a soiree and stuff. But, you know, go through this, and then we end up in a room with, the hostess's husband, and it's all this whole acted out thing, talks to you, all that kind of stuff. So it was, like, interactive theater, of course. And, you know, like, I'm not scared. Like, straight up, none of that stuff scares me. My brain, I don't have lizard brain about it. I don't go, oh, what if it's real? So I still don't fuck with Ouija boards, usually. But I still immerse myself in the adventure. I don't just go, like, whatever. But, so that added a little more allure and, story to the whole event. Time rolls around for the go do the thing. Big group of, there was like 12 people in our slot. I wish there'd been like 4 less people, because it kind of makes it harder to get around. Go in this room. The hostess, Esther, was like, welcome, here's a drink. And it's just like plastic cups, like disposable plastic cups. There's seltzer water. It's seltzer water, but, you know, you drink it, and she goes, I've poisoned you. you have an hour to do as I ask of you, or I will not give you the antidote, kind of deal. And so we have this like statue that takes in the souls of people who look at it and hold it too long. Very cool. So then we get taken out back. And I'm telling you, this is like a well-established stuff. We get taken out back by the groundskeeper, and we walk up, and there's this other 3-story huge house that's even more dilapidated, looks like a haunted house, pretty much at the back. And then you get closer, and the music just up scores about the dun dun dun. But like if there was a lightning storm, lightning would have struck at the time with like and thunder with when we walked up on this place, because it was like duh, the presentation. So it was really cool. And you know, we're like, the groundskeeper's like, no, I refuse to go in this house again. And then suddenly, out of the ground pops up a mailbox, like literally goes out of the ground, mailbox. And inside, I'm up the front, because I'm like, I like being up front for this shit. Like, I love it. I go first in for mazes and all that stuff. And then the girls are, yeah, get what's in the mailbox. And so I open up the mailbox, and there's a letter in there and a fake lily. And so I open up the message, and it's someone saying, I don't want to be in this box anymore. I don't want to live in this box. This is awful. Like, and it's a drawing of someone who's hung themselves. And it's like, ooh. And then he's like, okay, we have to go. And then we're like forced to go to there's a graveyard that they built in the back. And there's these, there's coffins sticking out of the ground all over, like full-size coffins. Like they got full-size coffins buried partially in the ground. And then there's a tombstone. And we walk up to the tombstone, and the groundskeeper kneels in front of it, acting very like remorseful and such. And he's like, can you put the lily in the pot in front to pay respects to her? And I'm like, oh, this girl must be named Lily. This is too coincidental. So I put it in there, and then boom, out of the ground, a person crawls from out of the ground in front of the gravestone, just reaches a hand out and pulls herself out, and the groundskeeper runs away, and we're all just like left there with this, and her name's Lily. So we like, oh, she's like, you can't be here. What are you doing here? And it's all very like crazy, and we have to like Mission Impossible our way into this house, this haunted looking fucking house, which is story-wise, it's a halfway house run by Lily's mother, who is Esther, who is the one who has poisoned us. So this girl's dead. She's a dead girl, but she's come back to life. But she's leaving us, and we're just outside the house, and there's lights, and she's like, don't let the light touch you. So we have to stop in between where the light's going, and then scurry on over and stuff like that. Then we get in the house, and it's spooky ass house. House is spooky as fuck. And we're just like running around, and she leads us to this bunch of rooms. Oh, there's this whole part that happens with a man she was gonna run away with, gets driven insane, and he kills himself in front of us. And then he takes the statue, and his soul gets sucked up into the statue. And then we move on, and then we're in this room with a bunch of doors. And she's like, oh, and we open this one door, and there's these bodies at the bottom of the stairs, like skeletal bodies. And she's like, that's where we used to hide from the piano teacher, because she was crazy. The piano teacher's crazy. And in the hand of one of the skeletons is a piano key. And I'm of course up front again, and the girls, and Lily is, you go down, get the piano key. So I go down to get the piano key, and then as I'm down there about ready to come back up, all these sound effects goes off, and the piano teacher's coming. She's crazy, and she's like, hide in here, don't make a sound. Door gets shut. Pitch black. I'm in pitch black darkness, and all these sound effects playing around me, things sounding like they're coming out from underneath the house toward me, and just like, and I'm just sitting there pretty much by myself, just holding this piano key, going like, yep, this is happening. And at one point, I hear a rapping on the door of fingernails, and it's the piano teacher looking for someone, looking for Lily, I assume, but it's not me. And then the door opens and slams shut really quick. And then suddenly, then she's gone, and Lily goes, she's like, oh, there you are, hurry, come out. And the piano teacher's kidnapped one of the other people in the group, taken her away. And so we have to go find her. So we're like, oh, gotta go find her, go through the house. And we end up in the salon, is what I would call it, and the piano's over there, and the teacher's there. And the girl that got taken's over there at the piano, playing the piano, being forced to play it by the piano teacher, and we're all hiding behind the couch. And then Lily says, you need to go. You need to go fix the piano so we can stop, so we can save her. So I have to stealth my way around the salon, making sure she's not looking at me and doesn't see me as I sneak around over to the piano. And I hand the piano key to the girl at the piano, and I say, fix it, and I hide behind the piano. And then when that gets fixed, it distracts her enough to where we can run away and hide again. And then we have to do something about it. We're trapped in this room with her, with the crazy piano teacher who kind of jerkily moves around and very crazy. And then Lily says, what should we do? And so we get the statue again, the statue that takes souls, and we put it out on the table where she grabs, the piano teacher will grab it. And she does. And then her soul gets sucked into the statue as well. She disappears. And then we carry on through the house. And at one point, Lily's father appears at the top of the stairs. I don't think he's dead. It must be the malevolent spirit making her feel bad, is what my guess is at the time still. And then Lily kind of just gives up and puts her soul in the statue. And then her body drops from the stairs all the way from where she hung herself originally. She didn't want to go. It's one of those that, like, very, like, she's upset, scared, and stuff, and she's near you, and she's holding on to you, trying to figure out what to do. And so she's gone. And so we're by ourselves, so we head up the stairs to the second floor. And then you hear a voice going, the show's about to begin. And we go into this room where there are all these dolls around a TV that's all staticky. And they're all just sitting there, and there's nothing else. And then suddenly out of the side of the wall, there's a man. And the man's name's William. And he's hiding from, because he was also poisoned and left in the house. And he's like, you can't stay here, you have to get out of here. But he's like, don't move, or else the dolls will get you. Turn it to channel 4, it's their favorite. Because all the dolls are looking at us. So one of the girls near the nightstand where the controller is, takes the controller, changes it to channel 4. Slowly, all the dolls' heads turn toward the TV. And it's not a cartoon. That's what it was on channel 3. Channel 4 was about the making of toys, which is fine. Infinitely more hilarious. So then we go back over to William talking to him now that the dolls are distracted. And then out of nowhere, a RV little truck rolls in between. Everybody, not me, but all the girls that are part of this group that's with us get totally freaked out and hit the walls, pretty much, out of the way from this doll, or out of this RV truck, little remote control truck. There we go. And on top of the remote control truck is a doll. The doll starts talking, asks someone in the group to pick him up, specifically calls out a girl wearing a jack-o'-lantern shirt, because there was a girl wearing that jack-o'-lantern shirt. Her name's Jacqueline. Very hilarious. Doll's very funny, and so she picks up the doll and has to carry the doll now for the rest of the time we're here. His name was Manny, was the name of the doll, by the way. And then the truck suddenly leaves again and freaks everybody out. I thought it was hilarious. And then William's talking about that he left his wife, and he remembers that she's somewhere also in the house, and then he needs to save her. And he comes out of the walls, and here's William now leading us around. And he's like, he remembers that she's in the attic, but we need the key to the attic. And the person who has the key to the attic is Eli. So we make our way to the next room, and we're in a room with a bed, and someone's in the bed covered from head to toe, and we all surround the bed. And he carefully removes the bed sheet to not startle Eli awake. And there she is. I think it's a she. Could have been a he. Eli, I don't know. Kind of unisex, I think. But she's there, and she's tired, very tired, and wants to be read a story. Makes one of the girls in the group get into the bed with her, lay next to her. Makes another girl read the story of the tall lady. She has to sit in a rocking chair and read the story. So the girl who was voluntold starts reading the story, and slowly the room starts darkening, and the colors in the room start changing. And there's a sound coming, and it's coming from the closet that's right next to me. I'm right next to this closet. I purposely put myself next to this closet because I knew something was going to happen. So we're next to this closet. And William looks terrified, but I don't move. I'm not scared. Because like I said, I'm embraced into the adventure, but I'm not scared of anything that's going on. This head pops out of the closet, and then a long neck, it coinciding with the story, and comes out of the closet and hovering over Eli. And then suddenly all the lights go out. And when they come back on, Eli's gone. And so is the woman with the head. But we still need to get the key that Eli has. So, what is it? Manny says he's gonna go get the key, makes Jacqueline have to go in the closet. Then Andrew, right? I said Andrew. Makes me, since I didn't move and wasn't scared, and another person I'm with, go into the closet to go retrieve the key. So there's 3 of us walking into this closet, and she's leading the way with Manny. While we're going through this maze of a closet where we had to duck down and in, we find a flashlight with a body in the closet. And I pick up the flashlight because the other girl's holding the doll and such. And we go around the corner. And there's Eli, back to us. Hands like this, just sitting there on the ground. And then the head with the long neck is hovering over her, just waiting there. And Manny says, okay, when you get the key, we have to run. So, of course, me being brave me, as usual, I approach Eli, ready to grab the key from their hand. And then they turn around and scream at me and put the key in my hand and screams at us to run. And all the lights go out and we run out the closet. Everybody's gone from the bedroom when we come out. We're like, where did everybody go? So we head out into the hall. Another person from the group's been kidnapped up into the attic because they were going up a different route. So they got taken through there. So we go back, we go to the door, we use the key to unlock the door and head up the stairs to the attic. And we go, we're all going. I'm leading the charge as usual. We go and going around, and it's creepy sounds. And we get up there, because that's where Andrew's wife is. Except she's not there, and he gets enraged and takes Manny and shakes him and then throws him under a couch that's up there. Oh, sorry. Meanwhile, we found the girl who got taken. She's been bound by her hands and legs and is laying on a mattress, so that's where she ended up. Back to Andrew, furious at Manny for lying to him about where his wife was. Then after he throws the doll under the couch, out from behind the couch pops up a human-sized Manny doll, mouth, face, and stuff. And then out of the right side, where the mattress was, from the darkness, comes Andrew's wife. And then the soul of the doll possesses her. At the same time, they're speaking in a demonic voice, talking at us, where she has no control over herself. And Andrew loses his nerve. And so then suddenly we're just running. All of us are running out of the attic while we're being chased by Manny and the wife out of the attic. So we're holding hand, like Andrew takes my hand and I take the person's hand behind me, and we're running to escape the attic. So then we get out of the attic. Thankfully, all in one piece. He's like, we need to just get out of here. We need to find the kitchen. But he's like, we can't find our way. We end up in a room where the door should be, but there's just a wall. And then all these other random doors at different angles and heights everywhere. So we need to find the right door to get out. But none of the doors work. But someone finds a doorknob. Okay, where should we use the doorknob? We try all the different doors with the doorknob, none of them work. But then the wall. We look at the wall, and there's a hole in the wall. And the girl stuck the doorknob into the wall, and a door opens. And we find our way downstairs again. And we make our way into a kitchen with tiled doors. We're in the kitchen, and Andrew's upset. So upset about what has happened. He wants to take revenge on Esther, the lady of the house. Meanwhile, he doesn't know he's died. We're all still alive, but he has more than likely been dead from the last soiree she threw. But his soul is trapped in the halfway house, along with all the other souls we've found. Suddenly we hear noises outside. We think someone's coming in. There's a gun on the wall. Andrew tells her, take the gun, tells another girl to take the gun, and aim it at the door. And don't fire it until I say so. And we all wait there with bated breath as the banging on the door gets louder and louder. And then suddenly the door opens, and he says, "Fire the gun." And fires the big old shotgun. There's a muzzle flash, and there was someone in the doorway. And then they get jerked back into the darkness, and then they're gone. Then we look out the window to see what's happened, and we see Esther in the barn. And he said, "We must go. We have to go. We have to go see Esther and get out and escape and hopefully save ourselves." So we all run out. Down the rampway, all around, across the yard again, into the barnyard. Or stables, whichever it was. And there's Esther. And there are cups. She says, "Here, drink this. It is the antidote." And we've done her bidding, whether we wanted to or not. We took the soul. I think Andrew's soul got put in the statue while we weren't looking, because the guy who was holding the statue lagged behind for a bit. But anyways, she takes the statue back, and a demonic force comes out. You can see it along the wall, eyes glowing, black, billowy smoke, menacing. And she thanks us for helping her, laughing maniacally. And at that point she says, "Thank you. You may go now." And then that's the end. We get let out by the groundskeeper, and that's the end of the experience.